The next video is livestock prices. There were fears that inflation was on the horizon. The Times of the 22nd of July 1797 said sarcastically, "By some mistake or omission in the report of Smithfield Market, we have not learned the average price of wives for the week. The increasing value of the fair sex is esteemed by several eminent writers the certain criterion of increasing civilization. Smithfield has on this ground strong pretensions to refined improvement, as the price of wives has risen in that market from half a guinea, £42 today, to 3 guineas and a half, £294 today." This was no joke. On the 12th of April 1817, the French travel writer Victor Joseph Etienne de Joye had seen a man struggling to put a rope around the neck of a pretty young woman in Smithfield cattle market in front of a huge crowd. She resisted and caused such a commotion that they were both arrested. The man explained to the magistrate that he was selling his wife because she had been unfaithful. She did not deny the charge. As there was no law against selling a wife, the magistrate could do nothing except deplore their conduct and bind them over to keep the peace. A wife was, after all, a man's property, and it was perfectly legal for a man to sell his own property. But there could be compensations. If the buyer was of a romantic bent, a church wedding would occur after the sale. In earlier times, a lord who seduced the wife of a vassal could make amends this way. By buying the woman, he could marry her and compensate the wronged husband. According to the periodical All the Year Round, the annual register for 1832 told of Joseph Thompson, a farmer who agreed to separate from his wife after a brief married life of 3 years. So he put her up for auction in Carlisle, and in his sales pitch spoke of her as a born serpent and his tormentor. But then he gave some of her good points. She could read novels and milk cows, make butter and scold the maid, and while she couldn't make rum, gin or whiskey, she was a good judge of the quality from long experience of tasting them. So he offered her for 50 shillings, £2.50 or 160 today. However, Thompson seems to have oversold his wife's fault. After an hour, she was knocked down to Henry Mears for 20 shillings and a Newfoundland dog, and the parties separated, being mutually pleased with their bargain.